So wait, you're telling me that I have to tell people about my promotion if I want them to know about it? Can't somebody else do it, Francine?
Why, certainly they can, but how can you possibly expect somebody to do for you what you're not willing to do yourself?
Oh gosh, good one. I don't know how I'm little and you're big. I don't know what happened.
Oh, tech at its best again. Welcome
Wait,
to.
I'm gonna switch us to this one. Here we go. Here it is. Okay. How are you, Francine?
I am fine today, Heidi. How are you doing? We are live
I'm
again.
doing great.
Yay.
And today we're talking about telling people about your creations. Unless your purpose truly is just to create it for yourself so that you have it just for you, there's nothing wrong with that. But that might not be what your intention is. And for me, when I first started writing songs and music, it was this harsh reality that I woke up to is that if I wanted people to hear my music, ugh, I was going to have to talk about it, where it came from, how I created it, about the songs. I was going to have to tell people they exist. And I'm very grateful for the friends that I had at that time because they were not afraid to brag about their friend Heidi and her songs. So that was fantastic. But that'll only get you so far, right, Francine?
That is true because how many friends do we have? Maybe good friends, the ones who believe in you more than you believe in yourself, right?
And that know you, that could speak for you, pretend to be you, and everyone else would fall for it because, I mean, they know who you are.
But now let's consider that you grow your network, which is what we're doing here in the Believe You Can anthology. And now you have your 10 and my 10 and Heidi's 10 and Cecilia's 10 and Sue's 10 and Jeremiah's 10 and Tanya's 10. Wow, how many people will now know who you are and what you do so they can support you too?
And so part of my story is that when I was growing up and I said, "Hey, I want to be a rock star," everyone was like, "Hey, that road is going to be really tough. It's going to be hard. You should probably get a real job." And so I kind of did like a hybrid approach where I tried the real job thing and it was taking me further and further away from music. And what I realized was it was really hard over time, sustainably for my creative passions to just let that go. And so I started looking at working in the music industry from a different perspective. What if I could make it feel easier? And what I realized, first applying it in my own life, is that when you change your perspective, you start to notice some of the easier ways to do things if you focus on that. What I was focused on in the past, when everybody's like, "Oh, it'll be hard, it'll be hard, it'll be hard," I only found hard ways to do things, and if it was easy, I would write it off and I'd say, "That's too good to be true. We're not going to do that." So I was denying myself even finding any easy ways to do this, but it goes even further than that. You can put this filter on like just about anything in your life. So if, for example, we'll go with the band thing. If you want more people to talk about your music, more people than my three closest best friends that were out there talking about it, what I need to tell people is what kind of music it is, what kind of genre, what can they expect from my music, and maybe what they could expect if they saw me in a live show, and a little bit about our story. Like, how did our band come together? How do we create together and come up with these certain set of songs? And that can just be like a little short paragraph. But when you think about these things and you put them together, suddenly it's easier for you to make your web page because this is all the information you're going to want on your homepage. And then you carry that information over to your Facebook page and your Instagram page and all of the pages. And suddenly everything's consistent and people know and can recognize you from one page to the next because you shared that little bit of clarity on all of the pages. And now when a promoter sees your stuff and does it, or you're doing a show for them, they can promote your band and say, hey, this is the kind of band that you're going to come and see. You really guys, you don't want to miss it. And everybody understands what's going on. I'm going to come to the show because I'm like, yes, that is the kind of music that I want to hear. I'm going to go there on Friday night. And that's how it all works. It's all a big layer, and it starts with you and your story, which is what we're here to talk about today.
Okay, I have another story to tell, and it's not about music, and it's not even about being an author. It's about my podcast. My podcast has been sitting at maybe 10 to 30 views each episode. And it's parents talk. It's tips for raising confident kids for the parents to watch. And I've been interviewing people I meet in networking events and my children's authors group, people in my children's authors group. And somebody out of the blue said they saw my podcast and they really like what I'm doing because I'm making a difference in the world. And she checked me out on social media, not so she could be on my podcast, but so her boss could. And I interviewed Dr. Rob today because I put myself out there so people could see what I'm doing. So it's not just about selling your stuff or getting people to listen to your music. It's about widening and expanding your circle of influence.
Yes, yes. And I had another story, Francine.
I love stories. Tell it, please.
So when you can get down to what's important for you. So I was at this stage of my life where I was ready to stop being a full-time employee. And so I started just writing down what's important to me. Where do I want to be spending my time? What kind of things do I want to experience in my life going forward? If the day job was gone today, how would I spend my time? And that exercise that I did was so very powerful because going back to how do I make it easy? I was looking at the approach everybody else was going at. I was looking at the hard way around. When I started focusing on, let's just take all of that off and let's look at what is it that I truly wanted and wrote that down on paper. Suddenly it was so much easier to find those things. When you become very clear on your story, who you are, what you want to accomplish, what you're doing next, it also suddenly becomes easier to find the people that are going to help you and the people that want to go along for the ride. Those people that are going to build up in your community. So if the thought of telling your story to everyone right now seems a little bit scary, start telling yourself the story in your quiet time, morning journaling sessions, whenever, and really think about what it is that you want. If money wasn't a problem, if you could have any resource that you needed, if you could find the right people, none of that was a concern. What would you get? Have you ever done something like that, Francine?
I'm living it now. I'm living it now. I decided when I retired from my job that I didn't want to do anything unless it was fun. And that is what I do. I have fun with people like Heidi. I meet new people, I bring them on my podcast, and we have a conversation. I go to networking events, meet new people, and have fun. I write books and I go read them to kids. How much more fun can you have than that? If you're doing what you love, you will never work a day in your life.
And I think everybody deserves to live that way. And it's part, I mean, it's a huge reason why I'm a coach because I don't think, at least in my educational experience, I wasn't taught how it was like, you can be anything you want when you grow up. But
Wow.
yeah, the how do you make the connection between the two? Uh, there were some missing pieces, some very important missing pieces. And so if you're listening to this right now and you're thinking, well, I wonder what I'm missing. Um, I I wonder how I could make it easier for me to accomplish whatever creative thing you've been thinking about. You could be thinking about writing a book. You could be thinking about writing a play. You could be thinking about, I don't know, maybe you're just thinking about taking a year-long vacation and traveling the world.
Well, and people do that and then they write a blog about it.
Oh, I know. Or they do like the cool videos that I've been watching a lot of because I'm going to be going to Mexico in a month. See someone else telling their story. And man, I found great value out of those travel videos when I'm going places because it's kind of like a heads up. Here's what to expect here. Don't go to this place, or this is what this beach is going to be like. Everyone else in my group is like, what should we do now, guys? I don't know. I have questions. And I'm like, I know answers. And it's because someone took the time to share their story.
And that brings us right to why we're writing the Believe You Can. People who believe they could and did are a valuable resource to those who want to do it or think they want to do it, or maybe haven't even considered doing it, but after reading your story, they will. So now, Heidi, I want to hit on a point. You talked about writing ad copy. You talked about writing your story so that you could put it on your website and you could put it in all the places it needs to go to reach the people. Don't we have something, some way to help them write all this stuff?
Why, yes, Francine. That is part of the fun. Because I
Ah,
heard you say
the
you like to
party.
have fun of our Believe anthology collaboration. Because I will tell you, um, fun and ad copy and social media and those things did not go in the same box for me for a very long
Until
time until I found Francine. Well, working with Francine has been fantastic because when you get around some other creative people, you can get out of your own head and the, oh my gosh, this is horrible. I don't want to do this. What is the point of this? When you have a good friend working alongside of you, they can remind you of all of these answers when you're feeling most reluctant about doing things. And I feel so much more comfortable outside of my comfort zone with creating some content because of what we've done with the Believe anthology and the Believe Retreat live stream. And I think what you were getting to, Francine, is if you're not even quite there, you're like, don't put me on camera. I don't know what to write. That's okay. Francine has some really awesome promotional stuff that's going to be going out. So all you need to worry about is your 1,500 words of the story in the anthology and booking some portal parties along the way
What's a
in
portal?
case you might get stuck or you're ready for some feedback on your chapter. And along the way, you're going to start learning some tips and tricks about the social medias, about the ad copies, about all of that stuff, and how you're going to bring your story into the stuff that you'll start posting. And slowly but surely, as you see what Francine's working on and sharing some of the things, you're going to start to go, oh, okay, I feel a little more comfortable with this. Yeah, I can promote myself too.
And Heidi is living the example right now.
That's right. I
I have
am.
seen Heidi's new videos on social media.
Ooh, you have.
I have.
Awesome.
But most importantly, Heidi was so unclear on how to write her story until she came to the portal party and got feedback that
Hmm.
let her know what audiences wanted to know more about, to let her know that you don't have to tell the whole story, you could just tell a piece of it. And I believe, Heidi, is this true? It gave you confidence to know that you were on the right track.
Oh, yes. Definitely more confidence. I was feeling very stuck when I did go to the portal party because I just I do not really view myself as an author or writer until I look and go, wow, I've written a lot of stuff since I became a coach. And I've written a lot of songs. Maybe I am a little bit of imposter syndrome there. Um, I think sometimes more than most times, what makes situations difficult is the stories that we're telling ourselves in our heads. And so going to a portal party really wiped out those stories that, hey, this part's not true. This part's not true. Hey, did you think about this? And then it was like squirrel. And my creative brain was like, yes, let's go chase that idea. And then the imposter syndrome and all of that stuff was kind of forgotten.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know what portal party is, we take you from confusion on whatever you're doing, whether it be a song, ad copy, the chapter in the Believe anthology. We take you from that confusion, like Heidi was feeling, that imposter syndrome, that not knowing how to get it down on paper properly. And we take you through the portal to clarity. And we do it in a party setting where we're all just gathered up on Zoom, having fun, talking about what's going on, sharing ideas, brainstorming new ideas, giving each other feedback. And we have some comments in the chat. Someone else who I interviewed today on my podcast, and Janet is interested in what the anthology is all about. So, the Believe anthology is going to be a collection of stories about people who believed they could and did. And we already have 8 authors writing their stories. Mine's already edited. If you want to see it, find it on YouTube. You could see the past episode where my chapter was edited live right here on our live stream. So you could see that it's not really scary. For those of you who've never been edited before, it's not scary, especially with our editor, Terry. She's a hoot. I want you to know, she just edited my book that's coming out at the end of the month. And instead of saying your manuscript is edited, I got an email said the butterfly has landed.
Well, that's way more fun.
Right? Well, of course, I guess I should add that the book is called The Butterfly Who Changed Everything.
Oh, yes, yes. See, that was one of those curse of knowledge things because I knew that and they didn't.
Right, right. So I'm glad I see, and that's what the portal party does. If I was writing that story and I didn't let the rest of the audience know the inside joke, then I would have lost probably 90% of my audience. We get in that portal party to ask each other questions so we can make sure the audience is on the same page with us.
Hmm. Which I appreciate this part of the portal parties probably the most is having someone else read this thing before it's released. I struggle to find somebody that can just double check my work before I'm like, okay, it's good. Here we go. And I mean, even with the editing with Terry, if I'm in creative writer mode, man, I can't spell. I'm a horrible speller. Punctuation, forget about it, man. All of that stuff, and even like sentence structure just kind of like goes out the window. And then when I need to go back at it, I try to put on my own editor hat. That doesn't go well. That's a little bit overwhelming, and then I usually don't get through it. So to have other people be able to take a look at this and give me some feedback instead of it just being like, well, we're old, here it is. It's released as this is as good as you're gonna get. It makes me feel so much nicer that I can elevate my writing and my creations a bit more, having people, the right people to talk to, not the ones that are just gonna be like, ah, what are you doing that for?
And let's see, let's talk about Sue because she is our biggest success story. Sue, also an author in the Believe You Can anthology, called me one day. She's also one of the children's authors in my group. Called me one day and said, I quit. That's it. I got some negative feedback and I'm done. I'm not an author. I can't do this. So I invited her to a portal party. And within 1 hour, her whole demeanor changed. 2 hours after the portal party, the book was written. And guess what? The illustrations are done and it's going to be
Ooh,
released soon. Just
oh,
because
that's
she
exciting.
came and got feedback for 1 hour.
It's true. I was there for that one. That one was magical.
It was. And what's even more magical is she has her Down syndrome, 25-year-old Down syndrome son who is nonverbal. She has him helping. He helped name the characters, he helped choose the colors. She made a wheel that he could spin and pictures that he could point to. And that is all documented on Instagram. If you want to see how Sue is working with her Down syndrome son, it is Sue Scribes and Ben Vibes on Instagram. They need some
Oh, that's
followers.
cool.
They need some followers, by the way. And see what I just did? I promoted Sue as one of our authors. I promoted her Instagram account and something she's doing with her son. And her chapter is going to be about finding out that her son was Down syndrome, and they suggested she terminate the pregnancy. And she's like, and she raised Ben as a single mother. That's what her chapter is about. She believes she could raise him, and she did.
It's going to be a very fantastic and moving story,
I can't wait.
along with many others.
Yes. And we have room for your story too. Have you believed that you could do something and you did it? Or in the process of doing it, Jeremiah Ott believes that he could leave his son a legacy. Well, he's still in the process of building this foundation of the legacy. He's an entrepreneur and he's going to write a chapter in the book. And I believe at the end of this chapter is stay tuned because I'm not done yet.
We got a little bit of a cliffhanger with that one. Well, if you're wondering how you can book a portal party, you can go to this website you've seen scrolling at the bottom of the screen. And when you get there, at the very top, you're going to see all about the Believe anthology. And if you'd like to sign up for that and get your spot, we do recommend doing it soon because we have some exciting new things that are developing and the prices are going to be going up for your spot in the Believe anthology. So now's a really great time to check it out. If you're kind of on the fence, should I do it? Should I not do it? Save yourself some money. It's a really good time. And if you scroll down a little bit further, you're going to see instructions on how to email me to book your own portal party. You also can sign up to see our Believer Trait calendar, and it'll tell you whenever we have a portal party coming because sometimes it'll pop up and we'll have one tomorrow. And so you have a chance to check it out and add it to your own calendar because everyone's welcome to come give feedback, listen. Maybe you don't even think you have anything that you want to share, but you just want to come and be helpful and give feedback. You're welcome to come to a portal party. Come check it out on our website.
Hey, Mark, one of my children's authors has been to a portal party and needs to reschedule the one he couldn't make. Mark, can you just drop something in the comments and let everybody know what you felt about the portal party? If you're
All
still
right. So I think I think next week we should really talk about imposter syndrome. Again, what do you think, Francine?
I like that idea since a lot of people aren't promoting themselves, it might be because they feel some imposter syndrome. So next week, we'll be talking about imposter syndrome. So if you have any questions or do you have a story about how you conquered imposter syndrome, drop a comment below and let us know. Do you want to come on and talk about it? And Mark just put in, he loved the feedback.
Oh, and he
And
gave us some feedback too.
yeah,
Good topic.
good
Yeah,
topic.
no,
Yeah,
no.
imposter
Comes up
syndrome.
all the time.
Even I'm a confidence coach, and sometimes sometimes it slaps me upside the head, and then I have to remember. Wait a minute, you know better than this.
Right. Well, I'm definitely looking forward to next week to figure out some new strategies around that one. Let's take this up, shall we?
It's
All
that
right,
time again.
Francine. If you can conceive it, you can believe it, and you can achieve it.
From the head to the heart to the hands. Yes.
Yes, you And
My dogs are barking to celebrate.
all right, you guys, we will see you next week. Oh, and don't forget, next week after the episode, you can hang with us in the Zoom room for a Q&A session. Sure to write that on your calendar as well.